This is a program which can totally change the lives of people. And what I'm doing is something outrageous. I'm proposing a new medical hypothesis. So DNA.
Statement. Can we repeat that?
100%. So DNA does not cause diseases. I mean, unless until it's a point mutation, like osteogenesis imperfecta, which is a disease right from birth. So, I mean, if you talk about diseases like hypertension and thyroid diseases and
It develops with age.
there is a twin mechanism inside everybody's body which is creating all the diseases. Chronic diseases, acute diseases, all the various problems are being created by that twin mechanism.
Twin mechanism.
Yes.
This
And
is going against the hypnotherapy.
This
Is
is
it that
an
dangerous?
experiment which proves a point. Somebody goes for gymming 1 hour every day. They're all choices generated in the mind. And these choices ultimately alter the blood chemistry. And over a period of time, the blood chemistry gets altered to that critical level where diseases hidden in the genes will come out on the surface. A very valid question is, which people are asking now, that if the disease could remain hidden in the genome for 4 decades, then why not 10 decades?
Welcome to Effortless Health by Dr. Vipin Mishra. I am Dr. Anita, and today again I'm sharing a platform with Dr. Vipin Mishra where we'll be talking about effortless health. Let's start with the conversation, Dr. Vipin. Welcome once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Pleasure. So, Dr. Vipin, we were having a discussion after our previous session of the podcast that you want to put some highlights on what exactly effortless health is all about. So, let's start with that.
Yeah, so this is very important to discuss why I'm doing this program, what the intent of the program, and the way it is moving. Because I'm not very happy the way it is moving, and I feel people are like just watching the reels and somebody's liking it and somebody is not liking it. I mean, that's not the intent of the program. And what I'm doing in this program...
People on social media are for likes, usually, likes and the views.
That is
That's not your
not
intention.
something in which I am interested. So I feel this is a program which can totally change the lives of people. And what I'm doing is something outrageous. I'm proposing a new medical hypothesis. So medical hypothesis is actually a very scientific phenomena, and science has got its own very tight boundaries, and a scientific hypothesis cannot be created and produced without having the tight scientific methods. But the type of hypothesis which I'm producing, it is impossible to produce it in the proper scientific methodology, which is like research based, because here every individual is different, and so we cannot have a group, a cohort of similar people.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that there is a twin mechanism inside everybody's body which is creating all the diseases. Chronic diseases, acute diseases, all the various problems are being created by that twin mechanism.
Twin mechanism.
Yes. One is the DNA, which sets the platform for disease occurrence. And the other is the mind. The mind causes diseases. So these are these twin mechanisms. You cannot do anything with the DNA, and that is also very unimportant because diseases are not caused by the DNA. They are permitted by the DNA. So DNA... Yeah, DNA...
Statement. Can we repeat that?
100%. So DNA does not cause diseases. I mean, unless until it's a point mutation, like osteogenesis imperfecta, which is a disease right from birth. So, I mean, if you talk about diseases like hypertension and thyroid diseases and...
It develops with age.
So the same genome which protected you for 4 decades, and now then you start blaming it, that's not fair at all. So what happens that during these 4 decades, the mind alters the blood chemistry hugely. And the mind alters the blood chemistry in 3 indirect ways and 1 direct way.
Okay.
The 3 indirect ways are, number 1, by way of various emotions. It alters the hypothalamic functions and the pituitary functions, and it alters your entire metabolism. Your emotion is your primary disease. The second way, the mind creates changes in the blood chemistry is lifestyle choices. If somebody drinks alcohol every day, then yes, it's a choice generated in the mind. Somebody goes for gymming 1 hour every day. They're all choices generated in the mind. And these choices ultimately alter the blood chemistry. And over a period of time, the blood chemistry gets altered to that critical level where diseases hidden in the genes will come out on the surface. A very valid question is, which people are asking now, that if the disease could remain hidden in the genome for 4 decades, then why not 10 decades? And the third way, the third indirect way in which the mind creates diseases is by way of environmental pollution and food adulteration. But there it is the group mind. So in India, there is more pollution than in Dubai. In maybe France, there'll be even less pollution than in Dubai. So the public of a particular country, the society, decides the levels of pollution and food adulteration.
Right.
There's a third way in which people's mind alters your blood chemistry. And over a period of time, the blood chemistry gets so hugely altered that it becomes impossible for the diseases to remain hidden inside the genome. So if you go beyond the mind, if you transcend the mind, that then this mental phenomena totally finishes. Then in a way you amputate one limb of the disease pathogenetic process. When the disease pathogenesis stops, then diseases become impossible. Apart from these 3 indirect ways in which the mind creates diseases, there is a direct way also, and that is very interesting. The mind says cancer, and voila, there is cancer. This looks very absurd, how mind creates a disease, but there's an experiment which is quoted in textbooks of psychology and which all professors of psychology teach in their classes. It's a experiment of hypnotists. So what do hypnotists do? Hypnotists, they hypnotize the person and take the 10% of the person's conscious mind in their control. So that 10% of the conscious mind, which is the question-raising mind, which is the analytical mind, that is silenced by the hypnotist. Then the subconscious mind doesn't raise questions. Then what they say is that you raise your arm, and you raise your arm like this, and then they will say that I'm going to put a burning coal on your palm. It'll hurt you, but you can withstand that and there'll be no problem. And the person is now convinced that he is going to because the questioning mind is not working. He is not raising a question, why would he do that? I paid him money for my therapy. He cannot do that to me. So this is the analytical mind, which is the conscious mind, which has been silenced. So he is convinced that he is going to put a burning coal on my palm.
This is going against the hypnotherapy.
This is an experiment which proves a point. So then what they do is they just place a marble on the palm. Just a marble, glass marble on the palm, which is smooth and cool. I mean, there's no burning coal. But the man is convinced that it was the burning coal. And he screams with severe pain. And then the hypnotist says, is it very uncomfortable?
Is that strong, hypnosis?
Yes, 100%. And this man says, yes, it is very painful. And he removes the marble. And then there's a blister on the palm. Convictions create realities. So that is how in medicine we talk about the placebo phenomena and the nocebo phenomena. So in placebo phenomena, if the mind is convinced that this is going to help me, it helps.
It helps.
And if the mind is convinced that this is going to harm me, it harms. That is a nocebo phenomenon. This is just the opposite of placebo. And in all the clinical trials, the so-called the ultimate truth of medical science is the RCTs, randomized clinical trials, where the patient, and most of these are double-blind. The doctor doesn't know which medicine is being given, whether it is the medicine or the placebo. And the patient also doesn't know whether it is the medicine or the placebo. And the placebo arm also sees lots of benefits.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting you over here. There are so many things coming up like manifestation nowadays in today's time. Whatever you're talking about, it's in another way showed that it's power of manifestation. So whatever you think that it's happening or you are already in that phase or situation, it happens.
100%.
Rephrasing, the same thing. It's actually the same.
So mind creates realities. This is what I am telling in my program that mind creates realities, and you cannot escape these effects of the mind. You cannot escape the effects of the mind, the three indirect methods. How can you escape the emotions which mind causes? If somebody is stressing you, how can you evade that stress? Not at all possible. But it is easily possible to transcend the mind, to make the mind just look like an organ, just like your hands.
Easily possible?
Easily possible. The life is propelling you towards that end. The reason is why most people do not experience that situation is because they very assiduously try to avoid that. Because society has taught lots of things. Society has taught you lots of things. And those teachings have gone so deep within you that you cannot come out of that. So I'm teaching you something, and it is like contradictory to your previous teachings. So it is appearing wrong. So you think very deeply. None of my statements is appearing wrong at all. But yeah, it contradicts your already
Fixed thoughts.
fixed thoughts. So,
Biased mind.
so the summary of my program can be put in four statements. Four statements are there. It's just like Lord Buddha gave four noble truths. So Lord Buddha gave four noble truths about about life itself. But I'm giving four noble truths only about the human diseases. The first truth is that you are what you are. You are not anybody's photocopy. You're not anybody's replica. So what is good for me is not going to be good for you. There is no global therapy, like a standard fixed therapy which can be given to everybody, because everybody is a unique person. So you cannot follow anybody else's therapy. You are what you are. This is the first noble truth. The second noble truth is you are not what you are.
What?
Yes. And that means essentially that you are not a static entity. You are a dynamic flow. You are continuously flowing and becoming something different. That Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is operating on you every second, every moment. Brahma is generating a new you every moment. Vishnu is what I see because there is something which is existent. This, what is existent now, was not existent yesterday or maybe a minute before. And Mahesh is the one who is finishing your previous form. So the continuous recreation of a human being is going on. So
Same words, so much of difference?
same words, so much of difference, polar opposite. But
That's the second point.
that's what it is, that you are not what you are. So if something helped you at the age of 16 years, is not going to help you now. So you have to live very consciously. You have to feel everything, and you have to take your own decisions, because anybody else's decisions will not help you. Only they are your problems, and your problems will be addressed by only your solutions. My solutions will not help you.
May not. Or
May
will
or
not.
may not need. 100% it will not help you. 100%. Why you think it will help you? Because you are not that much conscious. Because you are not that much conscious. And you see, when I say you are not conscious, I'm saying about the whole humanity. The whole humanity is unconscious to a great extent. But yes, awakening is possible. That's what I'm talking about. The third noble truth which I'm talking about is that the only human disease is knowledge. You have to get rid of the viruses of knowledge. This knowledge will kill you. Knowledge kills. This is the third noble truth which I am talking about. And the fourth noble truth is that getting freedom from this virus of knowledge is possible just by living the life which is provided to you. And that is why it is effortless. You don't have to ask for anything else. You have been provided a different life. I've been provided a different life. A question must be asked, why your life is different and my life is different? We are both from India and we are both from the same state, and there are lots of things common, but you are leading a totally different life and I'm leading a totally different life because my therapy was different and your therapy was different. The lives that we are living, they have been precisely created as per our requirements.
Surroundings and people
So these are the
around.
four noble truths which I have proposed in my program. So I want that people should watch full videos on YouTube, not just see the reels on the Facebook, and then ask questions. So if I only answer your questions, then is like a set of questions coming
Very
from
true.
one mind.
Very true.
So there'll be a stereotyped type of questions. So I want different types of questions.
So
And
you can definitely request the audience that
100%, that's what I want.
uh,
That they should. I even want to invite them, some of them, to our show, and they can sit here and ask questions directly also.
Very true. That we are open
So
for
this
discussion.
is what I wanted to clarify before we proceed further.
Please do drop your questions in the comment box. We will definitely get back, Dr. Vipin, and we all are very active on the comments. So we'll definitely respond to you. Please get in touch. We are here for an open conversation, right?
Yeah.
So, Dr. Vipin, this entire concept is very logical and makes sense. But you said all relationships should actually come to an end. How will this society survive if there are no relationships? What about families? Are they not making any sense?
Yeah. So there is a starting point in life and there is a finishing point in life. When a child starts learning how to walk, the child doesn't walk on the first day. The child crawls. But
Right.
crawling should not be the end point also. The crawling is just the starting point. And then the child learns to stand up on its own legs and then falls maybe 100 times. And then ultimately one day runs the marathon. So if a child remains stuck at the level of crawling, even at the age of 80 years, then you will say that a very useful opportunity of life was wasted. This child could not stand on it. So it's very unfortunate, actually, if the ending part of life remains the same as the starting part of life. So relationships are the summary of life. Everything happens in your life because of those relationships. You are born as a clean slate. And all those relationships, they put all the text on that clean slate. They give you values and they shape your personality and they do everything for you. The relationships start, the first one is with the mother. The mother is the first teacher of the child, and the child learns lots of things and courage and personality from the mother. And that's why there's so much of talk about women empowerment, because in those countries where women are powerful, those societies are at a different level, because the child gets the first lessons of life from the mother. And then comes the father, and then their brothers and sisters and uncles and lots of people and relatives, and then teachers in a big way. They play a huge role. And then your professional colleagues and your bosses and managers and your customers, lots of people, they come into your life and you develop lots of professional relationships also. And they all put colors in your personality. And ultimately, you become what you become. But then, the starting point of life should not remain the end point also. You must ultimately get freedom from all these relationships and become an independent, complete entity within yourself. You should not depend on anybody for anything, and which is very much possible. Now, this idea is not appearing good to you because a normal human mind starts thinking in extremes. So suddenly this thought will come into your mind that if the relationship is lost, then I will become violent or insensitive towards the other person. No.
Right.
What I am saying is that when you lose your very pathological attachment towards one person,
Pathological attachment.
pathological, it is all pathology. And I will give you some examples.
So for our audience, disease-causing attachment.
Yes. So all mental process is disease. So attachment is a mental process. The whole mind is disease, actually. If you don't go beyond the mind, if you don't transcend the mind, then you can't know what is the meaning of health. The meaning of health is understood only when, you see, if your mind works in a particular way, then you will derive the same conclusions which your mind is forcing you to do. I remember an experiment. Teacher showed an experiment to his students, and he put some insects in the water, and they
Living insects.
living insects, and they all swam around, and they came to the edge of the glass, and they came out. And he put the same group of insects in alcohol, and those insects died in the alcohol. So he said, what conclusions do you derive? So 9 out of 10 students said alcohol is bad. It kills. And the 10th student said, it is actually very good. It
It
kills
will
all
kill the germs of the body.
germs of the body. So it is very good for health. So you can derive only
Perception.
same conclusions from whatever you see or hear or feel that your mind forces you to take. Only when you are beyond the mind, only then you can see the truth. The truth cannot be seen through the mind. So what I'm saying is that ultimately a time must come when you should detach from all relationships. And in the last podcast, I told you that that is the mind of a sannyasi. A sannyasi's mind is that which is unattached mind. It is not attached to either people around him or her, or to business or bank accounts or positions or CVs. So ultimately, you are unattached to anything, but still you are a good human being. You are good to the whole humanity. When you see, there is something like a light of a torch. Light of a torch falls only on a particular object. But then that torch gets converted into the sun and the light falls on everybody. Then you actually become nice to the whole world. Now, you travel in a train and then you meet somebody on the train and you start just talking, and then the relationship develops, and then you share lots of your stories, and you eat food together, you drink tea together, and the closeness develops. So, being good to even strangers is possible. So, why would a person not remain good to the family members who have been his support
for
for so
everything.
long? So, when I say you are detached, that it doesn't mean that you become like hurtful to others. No, you become nicer. You become nicer to others, and not just to your family members, but to the whole humanity. So that is the ultimate level of growth for human beings, which is possible. But you will not accept that because we were fixed ideas. Your fixed ideas is that
This is like a cycle, no? I
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah.
So I will. I feel like actually singing a Bollywood song.
You sure?
And I often sing songs because my life has been largely inspired by Bollywood music. If you allow me that.
Absolutely, please go ahead.
कोई भी तेरी राह ना देखे, नैन बिछाए ना कोई, दर्द से तेरे कोई ना तड़पा, आ किसी की न रोई, आ किसी की न रोई, कहे किसको तू मेरा, कहे किसको तू मेरा, मुसाफिर जाएगा कहाँ, दम ले ले, दम ले ले, दम ले ले घड़ी भर, ये छैया पाएगा कहाँ, वहाँ कौन है तेरा.
Beautiful.
So, madam, what I'm telling you is that your
Very nice.
your grandparents will leave you, your parents will leave you, your uncles and aunties and cousins and husband and children, they will all leave you. And that's not all. Even Dr. Anita Madeshia will leave you. You are going to get into a total void. Total void. Which relationship do you think you should stick to? No, you are going into a total void. It's a huge vacuum. You should learn while you are living your life to become comfortable with that vacuum. People are living a life that in future something will happen. There's no future. This is the moment. If it does not happen today, it will never happen.
It will never happen.
Because this moment of today was also the future yesterday. And if you talk about 1 year back, it was a distant future. So that time you thought it will happen after 1 year, and then it becomes a habit. Then you start now even today you are thinking that it will happen in
It will
future.
happen. Very
Something
true.
in future. What will happen in future? That huge void is waiting for you in future. Now is the time. You should experience that void inside you. You should experience that void that you are. And actually, that void is very empowering. Then, for the first time, you're able to live your life. I remember even 20 years back, I wanted to do this program, but I did not have the courage. What will people say? How will people react? And lots of things. I was not leading my life. I was not living my life. But now, at the age of 68, that courage has come. That courage has come, and I'm able to discuss what I wanted to discuss all my life.
Beautiful.
Now, one more thing. There's a poem, just 2 lines of the poem, and everybody must remember these 2 lines of the poem. The poem is in Hindi, actually. I will translate.
Sure.
हर सुमन का सुरभि से यह अनुलिखा अनुबंध. Suman is flower, and surabhi is the fragrance inside the flower. Har suman ka surabhi se yah anlikha anubandh. Anlikha means unwritten. Anubandh means contract. So every flower has got this unwritten contract with its own fragrance. Pavan ko saupe bina yadi main jhadu, saugandh. There is something inside
Brings
you.
goosebumps on me.
There is something inside you.
Heavy words.
Allow that to come out on the surface. Allow that to come out and share it with the society. Your life.
Can you translate that next line also?
Yeah. So it means that every flower has got fragrance inside, and there is an unwritten contract of the flower with its fragrance that if I do not give all of you to the public people around, this like
Makes
my pledge.
no sense.
This is like my pledge, and I will not die before that. What is inside you must come out. And what I'm talking is about the Socratic teachings. Socrates, I discussed this in one of the earlier podcasts. His method was elenchus. In Greece, elenchus means getting the truth by questioning. So, do you know why Socrates was killed? Socrates was killed actually by giving him poison. So Socrates was killed only because he asked questions. He asked questions, and those questions are very, very disturbing. Very disturbing. So the rulers thought that he is
He will
making
create
people.
a revolution.
He is making people lose the line of religion. Actually, religion was a big thing. So he was asking questions, and people were losing faith on the standard religion. So he was killed because of that. So he said that you do not have to teach anything to the child. Everything is there inside. You have to just take it out. Ask him questions so that he could express himself. Every child is born with something inside which must be allowed to come out. That is the only meaning of teaching, any reasonable and proper teaching.
Beautiful. But tell me something, Dr. Vipin, you said that we are getting too much influenced by the society and getting affected by the society, and we are getting biased because of the fixed thoughts and concepts that's been put inside our mind because of the society. But the same mother which you spoke about, she is there with the child till the child grows up. So whatever, she is from the society as well, right? So whatever she is giving or feeding or training or, in Hindi we say gyan and upbringing, it's coming from her. So indirectly it's coming from the society. Then how should a child or a growing child can actually come out of it? So what we are trying to say that what mother teaches to the child is wrong?
100% wrong. And also 100% right. Because the mother thought that this was right. And that was told to the mother by her mother. So this is how people are giving importance to teachings. So whatever could be taught is knowledge. So I'm telling you something. It's not your reality. It's not your awareness. It is knowledge for you. It is something which you have taken from outside. So the mother is teaching something to the child, and the child accepts it as knowledge, and the child develops it as a value in life. The child will live by those values which have been. And there are other children in the society who are living by different values. So for some child, the value may be to be very humble. And for the other child, the value may be to win whatever it may take. So ultimately, you have to win, even if it takes violence. So you be violent, and ultimately, you have to be the winner.
So both are wrong?
Both are wrong and both are right, because both have been. We should not get into this conflict of right and wrong. So this conflict of right and wrong will not allow us to go closer to our soul, because all this conflict is in the mind. It's in the mental domain. And so for example, if you are comfortable with something, that's your right. You don't go in the conflict at all. Just the opposite of that, I'm comfortable with, so that's my right. So in simple terms, you live your life,
Live and let live.
and I live my life. So there's no force on anybody to accept what I feel is right. So that is violence. When my focus shifts to the other person, the violence emerges. And violence is the seed of lots of disease process. So what I'm saying is that every child should also be taught by the mother to follow my 15-point program.
The child.
Yeah.
It's for the kids as well?
As early as possible. Because I know a 4-year child will not understand that. But when the child becomes something like 16 years, 17 years, 18 years.
A good age.
Yeah, good age. I mean, they are adults. They are adults and they can learn lots of things. So the next podcast, we will discuss those 15 points.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Eagerly waiting for the book to be released soon, right?
Yeah. The book will be released within the next few months.
Wonderful.
So every mother should also teach the child at the proper age to follow these 15 points. And those 15 points will ultimately take the child from the mental domain to out of the mind domain. So starting point is always the mind. The starting point is always knowledge. Knowledge is a part of the mind, actually. And what does knowledge mean? Knowledge means your past, whatever you have known till now. Now, the soul is never the past. Soul is always new. It is called Sanatan. Sanatan is, you know the meaning of Sanatan? Sanatan is eternal. Eternal
Sanatan means eternal?
Eternal.
Oh, yeah, right.
Eternal means eternally new. It is new today as it was 1 million years back. So when you are reaching closer to the soul, how can you relate yourself with your past knowledge? So what is knowledge? Knowledge is not something which you will get maybe tomorrow or a year later. Knowledge is all your past. So knowledge you can summarize in one sentence that all your past is knowledge. And if you want to remain in the present moment, the soul is the present moment. And if you want to remain close to the soul, then how can you remain attached to the knowledge? So all knowledge, whether mother gave it or father gave it or your teachers gave, it was all utilitarian. It served some purpose. I had a lot of knowledge all through my life. It served me a lot of good purpose. But yes, there is a time and there's a possibility to move beyond that knowledge. So the tagline of my program is moving from knowledge to beyond knowledge.
Wow. Impressive.
The book says that it is moving from knowledge to beyond knowledge.
Beautiful. And when is the book releasing?
Maybe by April.
By April, tentatively.
It's all finished, but I have second thoughts about everything.
Few touch-ups.
Second thoughts, third thoughts, and I'm adding, changing, lots of things I'm doing.
That's
but
beautiful.
Yes, it will definitely come. I'll tell you that knowledge is something which you give a lot of value to. You, in your eyes and in your mind, knowledge is very valuable. And the opposite of that is ignorance, and which definitely doesn't have value in you. You feel ignorance kills and knowledge saves you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm saying that knowledge and ignorance are the same things. It is the same phenomena.
It's same thing. Same phenomena.
Yeah, same
Okay.
phenomena. And but you are only looking at the knowledge part and you are not looking at the ignorance part. So you miss the ignorance part, which is always attached with the knowledge part. To tell you something.
Confusing.
Life itself is confusing.
True.
So people say that diabetes starts with the development of insulin resistance. So the person eats too much, and the person eats high glycemic index foods and increases body weight. and that is when the disease is developing. And then insulin resistance leads to hyperinsulinemia, then beta cell exhaustion, and then diabetes develops. So this is a very well understood pathogenic process of type 2 diabetes. Then people don't ask questions. Why did the person overeat and eat the right kind of food right in the beginning? They never ask that. What was that unawareness, or what was that something like some alcoholic phenomena under which he was doing all those self-harming things? That is ignorance.
Right.
Yeah, that is ignorance. So they blame me that Dr. Mishra, you ate lots of sweets and oily stuff and butter and cream and all of that. So that's why you have gained weight and you became...
They blame you.
I
You
mean,
get blamed.
me means anybody. Anybody. So that is what the doctors do. And they tell their patients that your food habits are... And they scold the patients. Your food habits are awful. I mean, what else can happen to you except that you will develop diabetes and hypertension? Unless until you change your habits, nothing is going to happen. So the question is, why was the patient eating all those harmful things
In
if
first
it was
place.
really harmful to him?
Right.
So this question is neither asked nor felt relevant.
Yeah.
It is a totally dark area.
Very true.
So knowledge that overeating causes insulin resistance depends on this huge ignorance of why a person goes in the wrong direction at the very first place. So
Yeah,
there is
true.
some part of which is called knowledge, and you are focused on that only. But you miss the other part, which is the ignorance part of knowledge. Now, how is knowledge created? The creation of knowledge. The creation of knowledge is by cutting the existence into pieces. So
Before that, ignorance. How did that got framed? Why somebody is tempted towards eating high sugar food?
nobody knows. No, I know it.
Okay, so
I know it.
that's what I'm asking
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Why?
So because he is under the influence of the mind. So mind is basically a conglomeration of 5 elements: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. This is the starting point of our lives. So all of us start our lives from there. But then should we also end our lives there? Is it very desirable that the end of our life should be also the same as the start of our lives? So there is Kam Vasana. Kam Vasana is actually largely misunderstood because Kam Vasana is considered generally sexuality, attraction towards sex. That is there. I mean, that is very important. But even eating tasty food is Kam Vasana.
Is Kam Vasana.
So I'm gratifying my taste buds. And there is some food which I like. Why do I like that? Because it gives me a good feeling. So that is also vasana. There are different types of vasanas.
That's why people fast, no? There's sometimes they do fast and they leave something for
I
some
mean,
time,
yeah,
something for some time.
So fasting is also a mental phenomena. So they are like they are committing sins, and they are like trying to cover them up with some
Break from sins and then going again.
yeah,
in
some
sins.
saintly activities. So they say that 6 days I will do this sin, and on the 7th day I will do some sacred and religious activity.
7 days no non-veg, then going into let's eat.
Yeah. On Tuesday we will eat vegetarian.
We'll eat vegetarian.
So I mean, this is all mental game which is going on. But when you go beyond the mind, then you realize it was all very childish, absolutely childish. So these are different types of desires of sensory gratification. So I start from that point, and I like certain food, and I eat that food. Lots of children like sweets, and my granddaughter, her favorite food is sweet. All different types of sweets. So what can I say? I mean, this is the natural tendency. We are all starting our lives with those tendencies. But my message is that it will be unfortunate if we also finish our lives at the same level. And coming out of the ambit of mind is possible. If you just listen to me, you're not listening to me. You are actually, lots of questions also arise because your thought process is the same. So I'm talking about a reality which is possible where even thoughts look very childish. So there is something like a state of thoughtlessness. But if I talk to you about thoughtlessness, it will also become a thought in your mind.
Yeah,
You will
true.
think that yes, Dr. Mishra gave me a new thought.
Don't
That
think.
thoughtlessness is very important.
So keep thinking, what is
Yeah.
thoughtlessness?
So you keep thinking. So, I mean, Osho has said something very fantastic. He said how an American mind works. Americans are like great salesmen. They know how to sell. And in business, there are two types of philosophies. One is the Japanese philosophy. The Japanese people say that you create a very high quality product and it will sell by itself. You don't have to bother about the selling of the product, because if it's a high quality product, it is cost effective.
It will sell itself.
Like Toyota cars. I mean, Toyota cars are everywhere in the whole world. But then there is an American philosophy. American philosophy says that you should know how to sell. Then you can even sell dirt. You can sell dirt, even that, to people. You have to change the mind of people in such a way that they start seeing a lot of value in that dirt. And then they will queue up outside your shop to buy that dirt. So how you sell something, that's an American business philosophy.
Style.
So I tell you something, that the process of knowledge creation is by cutting the existence into pieces. So I ask you a question, that tell me something about this flower of rose. That the rose flower is there, and you tell me something about that. What are the details of this flower? So you cut that rose flower and you bring it in the laboratory, and then you see all the physical
parts.
characters of the flower, the color and the shape and the size and the smell, and there are lots of physicality in that flower. And then you put it in the chemical examination, and then you do lots of chemical tests to find out what chemicals are there, and then you give the final answer that these are the physical properties of this flower, these are the chemical properties of this flower. And because you know what are the uses of these chemicals, so then you can make some medicines from that rose flower, and then you can do lots of things with that rose flower. But then all this information is false, because the rose flower, when it was attached to its stem, it was a different entity. Then it was attached to the whole cosmic reality. The stem was attached to the roots were attached to the earth was in direct contact with the sun and the stars and the moons and everything.
The characteristics will change.
The characteristics will change 100%. It is the same thing like talking to a living person and examining a dead body. You must have dissected on
Dissection.
cadavers. So we all doctors start their medical education with dissecting on the dead bodies. Do you think the dead body is the same as me, as you are talking to me? So there's a huge difference. So if you cut the flower from its stem and bring it in the lab, it is the dead body of the flower. You study the dead body of the flower, because you see, using the scientific methods which are available to you, studying the rose flower in its real situation is impossible. How will you study because the rose flower is even attached to the sun. How will you study its relationship with the sun? There are flowers which change their direction according to the sun.
Sun, yeah.
They are like Surajmukhi. Surajmukhi is like a sun-facing flower, always faces the sun. You bring it in the lab. Will it face the sun then? A very important living characteristic of that flower has been lost the moment you bring it in the lab. So that is how knowledge is created. So you see, there's something very interesting, and I've discussed this in my book also. What is a human being? A human being is a fertilized ovum. So this is the starting point of a human being. And it is invisible. It is microscopic, it is invisible, and it takes a lot of time for that fertilized ovum to become visible to naked eyes. And then that goes through a process of proliferation and differentiation and becomes a fully developed baby in a matter of 39 weeks. How many doctors and how many specialists should be needed to look after a single microscopic ovum? Then there are about 40 different types of specialists. There are neurologists and cardiologists and
Oh,
endocrinologists
yeah.
and pulmonologists and gynecologists and pediatricians and neonatologists
Urologist,
and lots
rheumatologist.
of people are there to just apply their knowledge on a single fertilized invisible ovum. Do you not think that we are going in the wrong direction? Actually, I am much impressed by the knowledge of Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu was a Chinese philosopher. I should not say philosopher, he was an enlightened soul like Buddha. He was like the counterpart of Buddha in China, and maybe at the same time, at the time of Buddha. So, one of the famous quotes of Lao Tzu is that a problem should be best solved before it emerges. I am, through my program, telling people that they can solve their problems
Before they come
before they emerge. They all emerge in the mind. If the starting point is well understood, then actually, in one of the write-ups which I had prepared in India, I called my program Lens Level Solutions.
Oh, so
Yeah.
this program has undergone a lot of names, huh?
Names and
Ah.
discussion. So, what is lens level solution? You go to a movie hall and you watch the movie, and there is a lot of activity going on the large screen. The screen is maybe something like 50 feet wide, and a lot of activity is going on. And that is all coming from a lens at the back of the movie hall. There is a projector, and from there, a dense ray of lights is coming. If you want to change the movie on the big screen, then you can toil hard on the screen. You can toil hard on the screen, but meaningful change will not happen. But on the lens, if you put a coin, the whole movie will disappear. The whole movie will disappear if you put the coin just at the lens.
What are you trying to explain with
Yeah,
that?
I'm trying to explain is that if you go proximal means in the beginning of the problem, the beginning of the lots of things.
The
which are,
roots.
yeah, no. So I'm saying that you move towards the origin of the problems,
Got you.
and then solving the problem is very easy. You see, I will say not even easy. Just a desire is all that is needed. A desire is needed to finish the problem. The problem that will emerge after some time, and then on the big screen of life, you will see it in a big form, unsolvable form. It becomes unsolvable on the big screen of life because you did not realize where was the seed of the problem. So that's why I always talk about the seeds of diseases, and the seeds of diseases are always, as a rule, hidden in the mind. So you transcend the mind. That's the only way. People say that a bad mind should be converted into a good mind. It's just like saying bad garbage should be converted into a good garbage. So totally ridiculous. So it's something like trying to change the route of the river Ganga. River Ganga starts from Gangotri in Uttarakhand, and it goes and finishes into the Bay of Bengal. And somebody says that, can you change the route of river Ganga so that it finishes in the Arabian Sea towards Karachi? So you start working in Bihar and Bengal and nothing will happen. But then what you do is you first build a canal from the Arabian Sea up to that point of Gangotri. And constructed canal is developed. And then you start putting some boulders at the beginning of the river Ganges. The flow will change direction. It will start flowing into that canal which you have already created, and it will go into the Arabian Sea. Then it will finish in the Arabian Sea. The more proximal you apply your efforts, the minimum are efforts and maximum are the benefits. Lens level solutions means that your efforts are minimized and the results are maximized.
That's good.
It is something like saying, when should you bother about a heart disease? When the person has got a severe anterior wall MI, after that you should think about prevention of MI, or when he has angina pain, or when he has some cardiometabolic defects like diabetes and hyperlipidemia and hypertension, or even before that, when even that has not developed. So the more proximal you go, the more earlier you apply your intervention, the least intervention is needed, ultimately maximizing the benefits and the outcomes.
So the solution is transcend beyond the mind.
100%.
Again.
There's no other solution. And the whole life is forcing you towards that end. So if someday you see that your relatives start ignoring you, and this will happen someday, you are still very young and very relevant but at the age of 68, people become irrelevant, and people start ignoring them and taking them for granted. So your sensitivity will be affected, and then it's a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise that you are
Left over by the people who were actually influencing and interfering so much that you live for them instead of living for yourself.
You live for the society and you are affected by the society, but then a time comes when the society is fed up of you.
Society is fed up of you.
I mean, to give you an example, don't feel bad about this example.
Definitely no. Yeah.
You have a son, and the son is like your world, and you do lots of things for your son, and you will give him the best possible education, both in Dubai and in US or wherever. So you will try to fulfill all the requirements of your son to make his life more and more comfortable. But then, when he grows a little older, he will get into a relationship. He will get married, he will get his own children, and then he will not have the same attitude towards you that he currently has. His attitude will totally change, and you will feel bad. You will feel bad. This is the eternal problem between Bahu and the Sas. the daughter-in-law.
Major reason of all kind of divorces right now is this. Holding on to the son.
Recently, I met a patient, a lady from Pakistan, and her husband was also with her. And so the husband appeared very nice to me, a very nice and gentle human being. So I said that your husband is a very good human being. So she said that...
Ask me my pain.
No. She said that he's a very good son, actually.
Oh, not a good husband.
Not a good husband. So I said, you have got a boy of your own? She said, yes. So I said, do you want your boy to be like your husband or to be inimical towards you? Because if your husband loves his mother, so you want your son to love you. So your son loving you is good. But your husband loving his mother
is not good.
is not good. This is like not playing by the rules.
Yeah.
So you should follow the rules. But yes, the same thing happens when the son grows older, and then some other woman comes in his life, and the mother becomes unimportant. And then the mother will be ignored. So the mother, knowing this, because mother is more intelligent, mother is older, and the mother has seen the entire life, all the phases. The phase in which the boy is moving now, the mother has already moved in that phase earlier.
Yes.
So she knows how it is. Then she will silently make herself less available to the son. And that is also important to make the son self-reliant and independent, to stand on his own legs. I've seen...
in our culture, but still, people do what they do. इतना ज़्यादा पढ़ाओ लिखाओ मत, बच्चे को छोड़ के चले जाएंगे, ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा के फ़ायदा नहीं है. They will leave you at the end of the day. What's the point of education if you know, they leave you at the end of the day.
Very selfish attitude that you do only all that for yourself, so that you are using them as your own crutches, that when you grow older, they will look after you. No.
Shravan, that's an example that we get, no? Shravan Kumar?
So you do whatever you feel like doing. You have to be yourself. Actually, the central theme of my teaching is that you have to be yourself. So Shravan Kumar is one extreme. And those children who throw their parents out of their house, that is the other extreme. So these are two extremes. But where you find yourself. So don't go into that conflict of good and bad. Is not the conflict which is important for you. For you, it is important to just be yourself. Just be it is so simple. Actually, you see, the problem with my program is, and I know this problem very well, that lots of programs are difficult to understand because of their complexity. My program is difficult to understand because of its simplicity. That people are not ready to understand that there could be a program, so high profile program, and could be so simple.
So you're saying that your program is the best program as compared to all the others?
Is the only program. All of the programs are like eyewash. I mean, they are not like selling their products. They're having a shop and selling their products. That's all.
Oh, I would love to
This
discuss
is the only program which is worthwhile. All other somebody is selling some. My wife is a very big fan of an American influencer. He's a doctor. His name is Eric Berg. Eric Berg is a great influencer, and he's a doctor who has gone into functional medicine. And functional medicine is a newer branch of medicine where you just replete all the essential elements in the body, and the body looks after itself. So she watches his videos, and then she has ordered lots of his products. So she's a big fan, and she wants that I should also follow.
Okay.
And I follow indirectly because if she orders something for me, then I have to
You
essentially
have to
take
take
that.
it. There you go on the main topic of the podcast, wife.
Wife. Because you can't escape. If in the house the wife is ordering you to do something, what will you do? You can't escape that. But yes, left to myself, I will just eat whatever I feel like eating. And you see, over the years I have changed. Madam, tell you something about my liking for alcohol. So all my life, I loved alcohol. All my life.
Yeah,
And
you told me.
my friends will not even believe that if I say that now I have developed a disliking for alcohol, they will not believe. It is impossible. And I also did not see anything wrong in alcohol. And long back, maybe 30 years back, I had developed lots of good ideas about death. And I was very comfortable with the concept of death, and especially my death coming to me at some point of time. So I thought that when the god of death will come to me on my last day, I will offer him a drink, and I will say, have some good time.
Cheers.
And why should we be in a hurry? And I don't have a problem. I was waiting for you actually. But let us enjoy a couple of drinks, and then we will move. But then I realized that that's a big obstacle in my own evolution. My own evolution was blocked because of that.
How?
Because I created my own world of illusion. After alcohol, you don't see the real. I mean, you don't see the reality even without alcohol. So, alcohol on top of that creates a dream inside a dream. So, when you sleep in the night, you see lots of dreams,
Yeah.
and you do lots of activities in the dream. Now, I'm telling you a special kind of a dream. So, you are dreaming, and what you are dreaming? You are dreaming that you are sleeping
And you're
and
dreaming.
you are dreaming. So, that is like creation of a dream inside a
Inside
dream.
a dream.
So, when you ultimately understand that you have to reach the truth, and you have to come out of the world of illusions, you have to come out of the world of dreams, dream sequences, then you will understand that I'm creating my own illusions by this alcohol. This is not helping me. I thought at the beginning that it was helping me and keeping me always happy. But no, it was not helping me. So actually, you see, lots of things keep on happening even with a problem. So if somebody has got a heart problem, then he can do lots of good things, even with the heart problem. So similarly, even with alcohol, lots of good things can happen. I developed all my hypotheses under the influence
of alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah. And alcohol was like an instant nirvana. Instant nirvana. Nothing mattered for me then.
This reminds me, Osho has said, his saying that you have to go through it. Go through it. Whatever it is, don't try to refrain yourself. That's where I think suppression also comes, that you keep suppressing things in yourself. Go through it. Do it.
Actually, to some extent, I will say that my alcohol stayed with me for quite a long time because of suppression. Suppression by whom? Because my wife is strictly against alcohol. So she had so much of pressure against alcohol that kept the love intact for a very long time.
Did I miss something? Separation from whom? What was that?
I'm saying that suppression.
Suppression.
Yeah, suppression. So suppression because of somebody's influence.
Right.
So if you do not allow me to drink, then what will I do?
You will get more tempted towards the drink, right?
That is the point. So suppression never solves any problem. So maybe if I was not suppressed against that, then I would have left earlier. But even now, I have not left it. It is not totally gone. And to some extent, because of my own program. You see, so there are two things which are important. So one is that I have now come to a psychic state where if I feel that I am the doer of something, then I feel this is absolutely despicable. It's such a dirty concept that I cannot live with that concept that I am the doer of something. So with that awareness, I do not want to be known as the one who left alcohol. No, I will not take that credit to myself. Taking credit is like falling in a huge pit.
Again, ahem.
अहम
मैं.
कि मैंने छोड़ दिया. मैंने शुरू भी नहीं किया था. अच्छा, वो शुरू कैसे हुई थी? मुझे पूरा scene. So
We will discuss about this further.
So I know how it started at the very first place. And who was the person who
Okay.
offered me the first drink
Okay.
when I was in MBBS? So,
We are sure.
but then,
we are over
yes,
time.
the way it came, same way it will disappear.
This is going to continue for sure further, but I have a question in my mind. I mean, before we switch to, further discussion in our next podcast, you say the program and everything is so effortless. But you yourself are taking so much of effort to make people understand about effortless health. How this effortless health is taking so much of effort to make people understand about it. I hope it makes sense.
Do you want me to answer it now?
No. We'll keep it for the further podcast because we are short of time.
Sure.
And let's connect again to discuss further. There are a few more questions aligned. They're in my mind, but unfortunately, our
You have not
conversation.
commented anything on my Indian attire.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I was about to say in between, but they were like, okay,
So,
you look handsome.
there's a very strongly Indian attire. So, but I don't say that I am Indian. I am not Indian. I am India. If India is a mighty ocean, then I am a tiny wave of that ocean. Beautiful. And every grain of me is India. Every thought of me is India. Every feel of me is India. So I'm like a mini India, not just Indian.
Beautiful. I'll wear a sari next time and come.
Sure.
Let you have this and I'll be having a sari
Sure. Yes.
next time.
Yeah.
Really, we would love to. Let's celebrate this,
Okay.
We always learn to enjoy the moment.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again, Dr. Vipin, for having me.
Thank you.
for coming.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Effortless Health by Dr. Vipin Mishra.